everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised. Retrostatic Radio presents Killing 15 Minutes.
Hello and welcome to Killing 15 Minutes, where we will give you your serial killer fix in 15 minutes or less, or your podcast is free. I'm Sam Rossi, and shortly I will be handing a poorly written synopsis of a serial killer to my brother, who hasn't read it, on a serial killer he's most likely hasn't heard of. This should be fun. Good luck, bro.
Thank you, sister. Karl Denke, the forgotten... Okay, I'm done with that. Karl Denke, the forgotten cannibal, kept a ledger recording his kills in Munsterberg, Germany. Denke was born in 1860. He was an apprentice gardener and tried farming, but failed at it. So naturally, the next step of a failed farmer is cannibalism. And if you're German, the next step of a failed painter is fascism.
Bump.
He moved to Munsterberg after the failed venture, buying a house and then selling the house. He ran a nearby shop where he sold meat. It may have been human. I don't like any sentence that ends with the parentheses of probably human.
Probably human.
I'm just saying. Parentheses probably human is a red flag for me. Denke was a cross-bearer?
Yeah.
Cross-breeder?
Bearer.
Okay, let's say cross-bearer, because cross-breeder just freaks me out even more than the cannibal. He ran a nearby shop where he sold meat, probably human. Denke was a cross-bearer and organist at a local Lutheran church. We never hear about the Lutherans.
No,
There's not a lot of Lutheran serial killers.
Not really.
I wonder why that is.
Well, they also very rarely do I get to know what their religion is, though.
You know, that's fair, because a lot of people will be like, oh, they did have they had an Orthodox Christian, but a lot of people, like, Christian isn't
just, there's more to...
I'm a Christian only says I am...
You're a follower of Christ.
I follow this branch of Abrahamic, of the tribes of Israel.
Yes.
Well... But anyways, this Abrahamic, offshoot, I follow Jesus. However, that doesn't say, oh, I'm a Protestant. Or I follow Catholicism.
Right.
Where Mary was a virgin even after giving birth. That is a weird goddamn thing. But anyways, you know what I mean? And
sounds very Zeus-like.
We don't want to make Megan mad. We like you.
We love you.
So we're not going to talk about that, but it's just one of those things where I actually think we should do an episode, like just a bonus episode sometime down the road, of what religions spawn the most serial killers. We know the answer already. But it would be interesting to break that down for, like, yes, Christianity probably has the most serial killers.
As a whole.
But, like, how many were Southern Baptists? How many Methodists were there that decided to chop up their sister? Hi, sissy.
Start reading again.
Yeah. Denke had been a pillar of his community. He, however, did leave the church in 1906. For unknown reasons, Denke began killing homeless vagrants and poor travelers. Period. In 1903, he killed Ida Launer, his first known victim. Okay, so that's the only one they were able to clarify, but I'm assuming later Denke himself said, I killed vagrants in home? Okay.
That's the one that they were able to first link to him.
Okay. In 1909, Emma Sanders was murdered. Another slaughterhouse worker, Edward Troutman, was found guilty of her murder, but was then released in 1926. I'm assuming because at that point, Denke was arrested?
Yes.
After the truth was discovered. Okay. Denke's last victim was Raucus Pollock. It is believed that he pickled the flesh of his victims and sold it at his shop. On December 21st, 1924, Denke lured a drifter, Vincenz Oliver. On December 21st, 1924, Denke lured a drifter, Vincenz Olivier, into his home with the promise of 20 Pfennig. Pfennigs? Pfennigs? Pfennig? German penny, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what kind of... It's not a Krugerrand. Lethal Weapon didn't teach me about it. I don't care.
But a Krugerrand is from freaking South Africa.
Yeah, I know. I said, as soon as I said it, I was like, that's not right. That's not right at all. And it's the Deutschmark I'm thinking of. Anyways, Olivier was directed to Denke because of his charitable nature. According to Olivier, he sat down to write the letter, but turned around when he was told to write, Adolf, du fetter Weiss. Adolf, you fat slob. Honestly, I know I should continue reading because it might be, you fat slob, lol, love you, bro. I personally think, sure, fine. I know at the time it's like, oh, you can't be thinking that way because, it's
Adolf.
It's Adolf pre-World War II. Yeah, 1924, so...
Yeah. He just came into power. He's the next best thing to happen to Germany.
However, I don't think... It could also very well be not that Adolf.
It may not be that Adolf.
But, in 2023, we're recording this, someone said, okay, I'm going to kill you, but first, I need you to write an inflammatory letter to das Führer. Guess what? I'll do it.
I'll do it, yeah.
It satiates two of my loves. My death wish, and my wish to fuck over Nazis.
Seems fair.
By the way, that History Channel show from way back when, I think it's called, what was it, like the XY Factor or just XY? Where it was just all about the history of sex. And they had a full episode on how fucking weird Hitler was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, one of the women was like, well, he would make me kick him in the genitals, and then he would ejaculate, and then start crying. I'm like, now, I'd believe it, but then again, that could also very well be, propaganda.
Propaganda. Good word.
Anyways, okay. So it was told, write Adolf, you fat slob. There was Denke raising a pickaxe to attack him from behind. Olivier ducked, to receive a large gash to his temple before wrestling the weapon away. Olivier escaped, screaming the madman was trying to kill him, gaining the attention of neighbors and then the police. The police thought Olivier was lying and arrested him for vagrancy. Because, what's our running commentary in this show? The cops suck. And panhandling. Again, this is one of those things where it's like, I've been someone who works overnights at a gas station. So if some fucking weirdo started running around who, you knew was a vagrant, go, he's trying to kill me! He wanted me to call the Hitler slob, and then he tried to kill me! Maybe it would be a cop call regardless, and then the cops would probably be like, well, there's no proof of that.
We're in 941, though, that guy.
Anyways, the judge wanted an investigation into Denke, regardless of what the police said. Good on him. Guess what? This is one of the few times we get to say the judge didn't fuck up.
This is true.
Denke was taken into custody for questioning. He was placed into a holding cell, where he then hanged himself. The police searched his home and found the gruesome truth of his murders and the cannibalism. They then had a pickled meat party. I'm kidding, I added that. While the exact number of victims is unknown, his ledger recorded 31 names, including Olivier's. However, the large number of body parts could actually have been as high as 42. Much is unknown about Denke's life, motive, methods, and murder victims. He's pretty much forgotten in history, and his crimes with it. And that's actually interesting to bring up. Because while for several of these I've brought up, like the Thuggy Cult one,
Yep.
or the one before that for Gilda Ray's,
Yep.
Germany in 1920s was still in a state of flux. World War I
Ended
in 28, didn't it? Or was it 29?
No.
It wasn't into the 30s. Because there was like a decade in between World War I and World War II.
Yeah, so...
Where the U.S. went, them Nazi fellas, they ain't too shabby. I know, no one likes talking about it.
Hey, Siri, when did World War I end?
It ended the 11th of November, 1918.
Well, I was way off. It's 1918. So, you've already had, they're in their Reconstruction time.
Yep.
So, shockingly, there is still this much information. Because, especially in Reconstruction times, you'll notice a lot of incomplete... there's still not a lot that's known about him. In fact, none of this would be known if he wasn't a bookkeeper.
Right.
If he didn't go, yes, that fat ass I killed last night really was profitable. But, then really, if it wasn't for that, because it would probably be why cops are like, whatever the fuck, we've got more shit to deal with.
Right, and
because
there's no body.
Because the German economic depression after World War I is what led to the rise of...
fascism.
As it usually does.
And communism, actually.
Well, that's
because hold on.
Sorry, I'll let you...
Because you gotta stop and think you gotta remember that, Adolf decided to, throw his, what's the word? Enemies.
Into the gulags?
Yeah. The other people, his political opponents.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. The communists into, prisons and everything like that.
Well, yeah. Because, and it's actually the fun thing about society during economic downturns. You will have a lot of people either clinging to traditional conservative views, i.e. the government needs to control more to be able to correct this, or you'll have people going, the government's the one that failed us. Why the hell am I making something for a penny and then some asshole down the street is selling it for $1.50?
Yep.
Because guess what? And then you have people like the Nazis who come in and go, you know what? We are actually socialist. Give us 1 Deutschmark a month and you'll be able to get a Volkswagen Beetle in 26 months. Only 1 penny. Think about the deal on that. But does that money go towards the creation of your Volkswagen? No, it goes to making a fucking Panzer tank. Because that is how fascism works. Yes, it rules through fear. But this is not a rant on fascism. But it's also why people are like, oh, well, they were National Socialists. Yes, they leaned into the nationalist part, not the socialist part. Because the socialist part is everyone doesn't...
Alright.
Long story short, cannibalism's bad. Nazis are bad. You should always keep your ledgers, though, because it could survive you. Especially if you hang yourself because you're eating people. Sorry. You're selling people so other people will eat people. And people who eat people are no people at all. I don't know what's happening to me this episode.
Okay, Gracie.
My name's AJ. What the fuck are you on? Okay, but seriously though, honestly, I do find, because I did tell you that I wanted this one.
Yes, you did.
just because I like the Mrs. Lovett. It was a joke because it was pretty much the German Mrs. Lovett, except it's a dude. But it is actually quite interesting. We've actually talked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is quite interesting. Although I'm still trying to figure out, was the Adolf you fat slob?
Oh. Hey Siri, when did Adolf Hitler take power?
Here's what I found from Ushmorg. On the 30th of January, 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany by German President
Yeah, but it
Paul
took
von
a couple years because he entered politics post-World War I, and then he climbed the ranks into being...
Right, but he also, you gotta stop for a minute, he was in prison for at least 8 years during that time period.
Was he?
Yes, he was, because...
I thought that was towards the end of the war.
Because he
for desertion, because didn't he fucking run away?
No, he was, it was when he tried to lead a revolt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And just like Alex Jones, he got blacklisted, and somehow people still think he's... I don't know, there was a bad joke. He got thrown into
prison, and then he was released after serving his time, and that's when he decided that he was going to go into politics.
Okay. No, that's fair. So, yeah, it was probably a different Adolf. Doesn't mean the jokes don't write themselves, really.
They're really true.
Like a pickaxe to the head. But I actually find it really interesting that he did go from apprentice gardener to... And not even the serial killing. The serial killing is usually just a mental thing, you know. But that he turned it into a venture, I think, is what surprises me about him. Where it's not like...
He probably had ADHD of all the dopamine.
I just learned how to pickle things. You know what I'm going to pickle? Pickle people! How many pickled people? I'm sorry. I don't want to call him the forgotten cannibal. I want to call him the people pickler.
Okay, then that's what you can call him.
Congratulations, he has a new name. He's the people pickler. He pickled people.
All right. Remember that when you're writing up the descriptions?
Oh, I'll remember the people pickler. But actually, I would also like to know, like, and this is gonna sound weird, and this doesn't have to deal with really the killing, that just Germany pre-World War II, or Germany pre-rise of Nazis, is very fascinating to me.
It's an interesting...
I'm not saying I know a lot. I just say it's a fascinating time period because ultimately
there's a lot going on.
Ultimately, the number one reason that any of it was even allowed to happen was World War I.
Yes.
Because it was the same reason that it's the same reason we have even right now during our economic downturn that has been a fucking depression. But we can't call it a depression because guess what? Well, our employment records are great. No, they're not. Oh, wow, our economy is going great. Well, no. The way we measure the economy fucks over literally everyone because guess what? You got one person with $158 billion.
Okay, you're done. You're done. Calm yourself, son. All right, say goodnight to the nice people.
Fuck fascism. Fuck corporatism. Fuck oligopolies.
And who are you?
I am the Rooster Illusion. I'm AJ Carey. God damn it.
I'm Sam Rossi. Later, y'all.
Killing 15 Minutes is hosted by Arthur Carey, with scripts written and researched by Sam Rossi. If you like this episode or want to stay updated on this series, consider following Killing 15 Minutes on Patreon or Retrostatic Radio on all major social media platforms. Good night and God bless.
You're watching Retrostatic Radio.
Wheel of Random is turn, turn, turn. Tell us the 15 minutes we shall learn.
I'm Sam Rossi, writer and co-host of Randomly 15 Minutes, where the Wheel of Randomness gives me the topic and I write about it.
I'm Megan Klodnicki, and I'm the host of Randomly 15 Minutes. I cold read what Sam writes and learn in real time about a random topic.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook at Randomly 15 Minutes to get more random facts.